Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Continue to be weather aware through the course of the day as we're watching for risks of flash flooding and severe storms yet. Know your safe place to be if severe weather develops. And remember, turn around, don't drown, never drive through any flash flooded roadways. Timing multiple rounds of rain and storms. The one later today, there's a marginal to slight risk of severe weather for isolated scattered damaging winds, large hail. The overnight and morning round did include some tornado-warned storms. Some of us may still be included in a tornado watch through the first half of the day. Parkersburg had some flash flood warnings earlier this morning, too, for 1 to 3.5 inches of rain that has already fallen, and we'll have some high to very high totals locally yet. What the radar may look like at 7 a.m. Again, the morning round does include the potential of a tornado. Safest place to be is a sturdy building, lowest floor, centermost room, if a tornado warning does occur. And then the afternoon round, still some heavy and excessive rain, damaging winds and large hail. Very active day here with high humidity and a front on the board. Flash area forecast, it starts at home. Areas of Florida, we have more heat advisories, above average heat and humidity going on there. Tampa near 96 today. To the north, some isolated severe storms and a risk of flash flooding. Highs in the low 80s. To the east, still potentially a strong to severe storm as well. Damaging winds, large hail, some heavy rain possible. From east to west, heavy to very heavy rain. Risk of a severe storm today. And to the south, some areas had some tornado-warned storms either last night or early this morning. And there will be risks of flash flooding. High of around the upper 70s to mid 80s. So warm as well for the day today. Charleston and Morgantown for your next 7 days. Chance of showers ends early tomorrow for Juneteenth. High near 81 on Friday. Saturday is a dry day. High near 83. Father's Day is likely dry. High of around 87.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
Morning all, it is a severe weather day across West Virginia. We get the latest. Metro News Talkline starts right now.
Not attempt to change the station. He's surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check satellite uplink. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Talkline on the Metro News Radio Network. TJ Meadows flying solo today. Dave Wilson away for a few days on a well-deserved vacation. Nothing changes. 800-765-8255 is the telephone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Ethan Collins at the controls in Morgantown. Zach Karolchak handles the video stream. Also available at WVMetroNews.com, or you can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, TV. We're everywhere. Whatever channel and medium works for you. Pretty good show coming up today. It is a severe weather day throughout the state of West Virginia. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes joins us with the latest update. What has happened? What can we expect? Coming up at 10:33. 11:33 today, Mike McKenna, our good friend of the Washington Times, is going to weigh in on the deal with Iran, the 14-point MOU. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it somewhere in between? What happens as we move forward in this 60-day period? We'll talk with Mike about that. The Dean of West Virginia Broadcasting, Hoppy Kercheval, joins the show at 11:06. Hoppy's got a commentary out today on the WVU baseball team. We'll talk about that commentary. We'll also talk about the program's historic ride this season, talk about the future of Mountaineer baseball, and get into a few things from his continuing series on State of Minds that has to do with the data center debate. I think Hoppy's 3 parts in now, has been talking to a variety of stakeholders throughout West Virginia, so we'll get his take. 10:45, if you're like me, meaning that you've got youngsters in the household, they are probably excited about this little movie called Toy Story 5. So we'll talk to Kristen Burt from Los Angeles, find out about the movie opening today, looking to set big-time records, by the way. So learn a little bit about that. Hopefully it's like the other Toy Stories, and it's something you can actually go watch with your kids. It still has a little bit of a plot for the adults in the room. Natural gas. Natural gas needs electric transmission. Why? Well, Rebecca McPhail, president of Go West Virginia, joins us at 10:33. Has an op-ed out, came out last week, I believe. We'll talk about that need in the industry and the industry itself, and try to merge this into the overall debate that we've been having, not only on transmission, not only on data centers, but the fact that West Virginia is an energy state, and try to understand what the need is specifically to the natural gas folks and how it could affect them as to how the transmission system in West Virginia further develops. We begin with MetroNews Statewide Correspondent Brad McElhinny. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline. Brad, let me be the first to wish you, in case we don't get to talk tomorrow, a happy upcoming Father's Day, sir.
Oh, thank you, and happy Father's Day to you.
Do you have any big plans yet? Kids doing anything special?
We are having various fathers in the family over to eat meat that will be, cooked on fire, as men should do. Maybe
I love it.
In fact, it will be best if we would have it on sticks.
I love it. Well, don't invite Dave Allen. You won't have any left. You know how he feels about meat and cheese. I want to start with this. We are watching the Supreme Court. Becky Pepper Jackson versus the state of West Virginia. This is the athlete at Bridgeport High, transgender female, who has been competing in girls' sports. It has caused quite, let's say, the uproar in West Virginia, I think is a fair way to describe it. We're watching the Supreme Court because there is a chance this case could come to the opinion stage today. Has anything happened yet? Where are we?
Yeah, so if you were watching me live on video, if there were Broadcam, you would see me refreshing about 3 things over and over. It is possible that the Supreme Court will release this BPJ decision that is West Virginia focused regarding the ability of transgender athletes to participate in youth sports. It is possible the Supreme Court will release that decision here in the 10 o'clock hour. They're releasing decisions one by one by one. Heard the oral arguments on the case in January. The reporters who cover the Supreme Court on a regular basis say that there are about 20 rulings to be handed out before the end of the month, before the Supreme Court goes on hiatus. And it's essentially going to be every Thursday the next few. Reporters on site at the Supreme Court, it's funny. I'm hitting refresh. I am not on site, but those who are, the pattern is for Supreme Court employees to come in with boxes, and veteran reporters know how many boxes constitute how many decisions, because there are printouts and they pull them out one at a time and distribute them through the room. So what we're talking about today, based on box estimate, is 3 to 5 decisions. We've got one out already that has to do with Second Amendment rights, but not yet the BPJ decision. So it could either be a very newsy, urgent morning, or it could all fall by the wayside and we wait till next week.
A couple of things. Talk to us about the history here in this, because typically the court will release opinions on all pending cases from the October term. So if history holds, they've got until what? End of July, end of June, 1st of July to get something out. Now, that doesn't hold all of the time, but that kind of sets the expectation, correct?
Yeah, I think everyone's expecting that that this will be among a bunch of significant decisions, a lot at once, really, over the next few weeks. And the main thing that people are looking at, this is off topic for us this morning, but it's the birthright citizenship decision. But this BPJ decision, which affects Becky Pepper Jackson, the young transgender athlete in West Virginia who recently won the shot put in the state track meet. It affects her case specifically, but certainly would, send a message regarding transgender athlete participation in West Virginia and elsewhere.
I took a look at the docket or the case filings. I'm not sure how they would refer to it officially at that level, but I did take note that the state of West Virginia, through the Attorney General's office, did issue an updated filing, I guess you would say, noting those results from the state track meet to make sure the court is aware. So they should be aware of those findings. My understanding is it centers around Title IX and equal protections is specifically. Oh, did we get something there? I heard a little update.
Oh, no, that is merely my outlook. I believe I've gotten an email.
No worries. But I've got that right. It's equal protection and it's Title IX, right?
That's right. And so Becky Pepper Jackson and her mother are represented by Lambda Legal and ACLU, contending that that West Virginia's ban against transgender athletes participating in youth sports with the gender that they identify with discriminates against Becky Pepper Jackson, particularly based on her gender identity. They say that's protected under Title IX and the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. The state argument, represented by the Attorney General's office, is that West Virginia has appropriately had sex-separated teams which are necessary to provide equal athletic opportunities for biological females and to maintain competitive fairness. There were some questions just a few weeks ago during the state track meet about, why did the SSAC let her compete? Why didn't people step in? And it was because the entire case had been on hold. There was an injunction while this went through the court system. And so, you made reference to the Attorney General's office offering a practical message to the Supreme Court about what has happened in West Virginia, which is that Becky Pepper Jackson did win that shot put. But she, had to compete. She had to be allowed to compete because there was an injunction while this was under consideration.
Brad McElhinny, MetroNews Statewide Correspondent, joins us. I want to transition back here to the great state because we have a few matters pending before our own Supreme Court. You write about those at the website, WVMetroNews.com. The headline, West Virginia Supreme Court agrees to hear oral arguments about authority over education policies. We've had some changes in the court with the most recent election. What should we expect moving forward?
Well, there are several significant cases moving toward the West Virginia Supreme Court this fall. They're not in session for the summer, and we just had an election, and so Bill Flanagan and Justice Kirkpatrick will now be taking the seats formerly occupied by Justices Ewing and Titus. Philosophically, I'm not sure what that means yet. I think we got to sort of run the water through the system, but the newly formed court in West Virginia will be making decisions about who has the final say-so on education regulations. That's a little in the weeds, but it's important. And you, the citizens, just voted on that on a constitutional amendment a couple of years ago. Citizens voted to keep the status quo that the Department of Education has the final say-so over those education regulations. This was legislation in the meantime that attempts to make a change to that. The vaccine case that's been in the news for going on a couple of years now is going to be before this newly formed West Virginia Supreme Court. That's going to be heading toward some sort of decision this fall. And then finally, the case regarding whether the establishment of charter schools should go to a vote of the citizens in the areas that the charter schools are established. That's another one that will be coming up this fall. So, if you were among the 20% who participated in the primary election, well, that was your final vote on 2 Supreme Court seats, and 2 of the 5 justices will now play an important role in some significant issues coming before West Virginia.
Talk about maybe specifically in terms of the education policy issue. Much of what was talked about in interims had to do with education. Of course, a lot of that's a funding problem, but talk about the effect of this ruling on the next legislative session. I would imagine has the opportunity, will be pretty profound, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, sorry, I'm slightly distracted because I keep looking at the SCOTUS blog. This is, the way West Virginia law has traditionally worked on education policy is the legislature does get to pass laws regarding West Virginia school systems and the education system. But the laws are fairly broad, and it's been the Department of Education that promulgates the rules to fill out those laws. And they are more detailed. And essentially, we have a divided government, and the education department is kind of under the executive branch. They have some independence, but kind of under the executive branch. So they have formulated their own rules and essentially have been the final say-so on those rules. The legislature, in this sort of tug of war, this kind of low-level power struggle, they want the final say-so on the rules. And yeah, that could affect things like how the school funding formula is interpreted, that kind of thing.
So, Brad, my little birdie on this one, the person I know closest to this issue in Washington with the Supreme Court, they say not today. So take that for what it is.
Man.
Add it to your watching the SCOTUS blog, but they say not today.
I am. That means I'm going to be on edge again next week and maybe the week after.
There you go. Hey, how do you like your steak? Before we let you go, if you're going to have steak this weekend for Father's Day, how do you like your steak?
Oh, I'm a medium well got, slightly pink, but not questionable in terms of whether it's done or not done.
Gotcha. Well, I hope you enjoy it. No, I'm right there with you. I don't do the medium rare. I'll do medium or medium well, and really it depends on the cut and how I'm doing it. Right? Am I grilling it? Am I smoking it? I'm at the stage in life I prefer to do it myself. I think I have trust issues, and so I prefer to put it on my own grill or put it on my own smoker and let it go. But no, I'm a medium to medium well kind of guy, especially if it's good cut of meat. So, well, listen, happy Father's Day. Perhaps we'll talk tomorrow. If we don't, I hope it's a wonderful weekend for you and with the fathers in your life, sir.
Oh, you too. Enjoy, and I think the weather should be improving. So after today, we're going to get through this thing.
We'll find out. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes joins us coming up after the break when Talkline continues. Thanks, Brad.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Our knees and hips are complex joints. For joint replacements to function properly, the implants must be placed with accuracy and precision. WVU Medicine's board-certified orthopedic surgeons use the latest technologies in robotic-assisted joint replacement to ensure the implants are in the exact spot they should be. If you have a joint problem, trust the expert surgeons at WVU Medicine. Visit wvumedicine.org/ortho.
Plan a holiday getaway to the 64th Annual Mountain State Art and Craft Fair, July 2nd through the 4th at Cedar Lakes in Ripley, West Virginia. Shop for handmade Appalachian crafts, enjoy live music, a quilt show, and don't forget the great food. Celebrate America's 250th at America's largest small-town Independence Day celebration. Learn more at RipleyCVB.com. It's all happening on Independence Day weekend in beautiful Ripley. Once you do it, you'll be back. back.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. And that's very important to us.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
WVMetroNews.com. Severe weather moves across West Virginia. Chris Lawrence has been checking with various Office of Emergency Staff Directors across the state. What we're hearing is it's mostly damaged trees, power lines, no major flooding, no major home damage, or anything of the kind. That's the report thus far, so we're thankful for that. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes joins us. Bryan, what are we seeing this morning?
Well, this storm system, there were two sections really that we were watching. One that moved in around Point Pleasant, which that storm was actually tornado warned back in Ohio, across Lawrence County, Ohio, into Gallia County. Then it moved over Gallipolis and the Point Pleasant area, Buffalo, all that region. And in that storm, that section of the storm just marched due east. I mean, you can draw a line from Point Pleasant to Kaiser.
Got on its horse and went for a ride.
Yeah, it absolutely did. We did have some rotation across parts of Preston County, and we also had some rotation into sections of Randolph, Tucker counties, and tornado warnings were issued for those areas. So from Point Pleasant to Kaiser, here's a line, and on about 25, 30 miles north and south of that line is where we see the storms that did some significant damage. At one point this morning, about 9 o'clock, we had about 30,000 customers without power across the state. The majority of that was in the AEP portion of it. And then, of course, we had First Energy as well. Then you go back at the southern part of the state, and from just about the Logan area, L.A., Logan area. Yeah, you go from the Logan area where we had the tornado warning issued all the way across the Beckley area, just south side of Beckley, and then about Glade Springs is where it started to fall apart. Between Glade Springs and Hinton, started to fall apart. That storm system did, but there's a chunk of damage right down there. So we had those two areas of damage, and then in between that, thankfully, the one police officer who made a fool of himself was in Ohio, in Athens. He drove his car into floodwaters, and he was stuck there.
Turn around, dude. Take your own advice.
I know. So thankfully, it was an Ohio. Listen to this. It was an Ohio driver. So
he was probably in the left lane when he went through the water, too.
That is correct. Yes, he was.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So what's causing all this anyway? What's coming together atmospherically to make this happen?
Well, we have what is called an anomalous a storm system, one that's very strong for this time of year. Typically, we should see this strong of a storm system 1st of June, late May, 1st of June. But we've got some cooler air. If you know some of that cool air we had earlier this week.
Very nice in the morning.
Oh, it was incredible. We're going to have some of that again going into, Saturday morning. Not as cool, but still quite cool. You've got a very potent storm system and incredible heat and humidity. If you were, not that you should have been, but I was out at 4 o'clock this morning. Not because I was coming in, because I was waking up. And when I took the dog out, I was like, man, it is hot out here for that time of the morning. It was incredible, 75, 76 degrees. And when you've got all that moisture, plus a massive storm system, that's why we had the big severe weather outbreak across Illinois and Indiana. Those two clash, bam, things are off to the races.
What do we expect moving forward?
We've got another round of showers and storms late this afternoon into the evening. Most of that is primarily going to be confined to southern West Virginia and into eastern parts of the state. But we could have another round of some showers late this evening tonight that we have to watch for. But right now, severe threat is going to be confined to this afternoon into the very early evening, and then things start to go downhill or get better than that. And then as we go into tomorrow, awesome weather. Saturday, Sunday, awesome weather. Rain on Monday.
So it's a great Father's Day, and then we're back to rain.
That is
Monday.
correct.
All right. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes. You can follow for the latest updates at WVMetroNews.com or on the Metro News Facebook page. Thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome.
Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. News time is approaching 10:30. Let's check in all across the great state of West Virginia. Get an update on what's making news.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Continue to be weather aware through the course of the day as we're watching for risks of flash flooding and severe storms yet. Know your safe place to be if severe weather develops. And remember, turn around, don't drown, never drive through any flash flooded roadways. Timing multiple rounds of rain and storms. The one later today, there's a marginal to slight risk of severe weather for isolated scattered damaging winds, large hail. The overnight and morning round did include some tornado-warned storms. Some of us may still be included in a tornado watch through the first half of the day. Parkersburg had some flash flood warnings earlier this morning, too, for 1 to 3.5 inches of rain that has already fallen, and we'll have some high to very high totals locally yet. What the radar may look like at 7 a.m. Again, the morning round does include the potential of a tornado. Safest place to be is a sturdy building, lowest floor, centermost room, if a tornado warning does occur. And then the afternoon round, still some heavy and excessive rain, damaging winds and large hail. Very active day here with high humidity and a front on the board. Flash area forecast, it starts at home. Areas of Florida, we have more heat advisories, above average heat and humidity going on there. Tampa near 96 today. To the north, some isolated severe storms and a risk of flash flooding. Highs in the low 80s. To the east, still potentially a strong to severe storm as well. Damaging winds, large hail, some heavy rain possible. From east to west, heavy to very heavy rain. Risk of a severe storm today. And to the south, some areas had some tornado-warned storms either last night or early this morning. And there will be risks of flash flooding. High of around the upper 70s to mid 80s. So warm as well for the day today. Charleston and Morgantown for your next 7 days. Chance of showers ends early tomorrow for Juneteenth. High near 81 on Friday. Saturday is a dry day. High near 83. Father's Day is likely dry. High of around 87.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. And that's very important to us.
Talkline on Metro News. TJ Meadows flying solo today. Dave Wilson enjoying a couple of days off. Well deserved. I mean, that man does it all. He does Talkline. He does baseball, all the sports. I mean, he's always working. So hope he enjoys a few days away from the gig and can relax. 304-TALK 304 is the text line. We'll get to those texts coming up in hour number 2. Or here's a thought. If you want to actually talk about issues and debate, you can pick up the phone, 800-765-8255. That way we're not typing back and forth to each other. I love text, but I'm kind of old school too. I like the phones. Rebecca McPhail is the president of Go West Virginia, the Gas and Oil Association of the great state. She's out with a new op-ed. She joins us on Metro News Talkline. Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning, TJ. How are you this morning?
I'm doing just great. How about yourself?
I'm well. I'm 2 hours behind you out in California for an industry conference this week. So appreciate the heads up and flexibility and timing for today.
That's no problem. Hey, can I be personal and poke for a second? Like, what part? Is it nice where you're at?
It was 100 degrees yesterday. I'm out in Colorado, and it was pretty stifling, but lots of good information. I'm here for the Independent Petroleum Association of America and making some good contacts and learning about oil and natural gas issues around the country. It's been really interesting.
I would think producers, I mean, this may shock people. Producers understand that once oil gets above a certain point, it's no good for them either. And I'm just curious, how are they reacting to what's happening in the market and the fact that their product may not inflict so much pain? Because there's a sweet spot, and if we get north of it, it's not good for them either.
No, that's right. And I think everybody is very cautious in making any predictions about what that's going to look like in the coming weeks. But you're right. I mean, we're really trying to determine, the best path forward, and there is some concern. What did someone say yesterday? It goes up like a rocket and comes down like a balloon. Maybe that's a good thing. So we'll see how it pans out.
Well, good. First graph in your op-ed. West Virginia is home to world-class natural gas resources that support industries across our region and provide livelihoods for tens of thousands of West Virginians. At the same time, the electric transmission system that delivers power across our state is aging and under increasing strain. How does this affect the natural gas industry?
Well, I mean, it's not just an energy sector issue. And looking at this through a lens for broader West Virginia economic advancement, we're looking at trying to attract advanced manufacturing and data centers. My former hat, chemical industry investment, small business growth, and really stabilizing communities and attracting more people to the state. And that requires reliable power and the infrastructure that it takes to deliver it. And it's not just a state issue. It really is a regional issue and concern.
So from following, I think, various projects, and I talk a lot about this, and I will be upfront and be the first to say I realize that my view on transmission is not popular in this state, although I would argue it's correct. But with that said, folks are wary of new transmission. They may support it elsewhere. They don't support it in their backyard. But it's critical, to your point, as an export engine for the product, because as much as we would love to use more natural gas here, and we're working on that, I feel like West Virginia's future, it's in natural gas fired plants to a large degree, and it'll be in exporting those megawatts to other markets.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. I mean, it more capacity gives us the ability to justify and really advance and attract that new generation, because developers need that confidence that the power can reach the market. I mean, that's pretty basic stuff. What that means for West Virginia, if we're drilling more gas and we're producing more gas, that means more severance tax. We heard earlier this week at legislative interims that through May of 2026, different oil and gas markets have produced $383 million in severance tax for the year. That's significant. I mean, we want to we want to create more economic growth. We want to create more jobs. We want to provide more payments to landowners and mineral owners. And you can't do that if you can't move the product and you can't find an end use for it.
Talk about, there's a couple things to unpack there, but first, talk about this idea of landowner participation, royalties. I haven't been in that game in a while, but with the Marcellus and everything else that's been going on, I mean, we see real generational, life-changing wealth from many of these projects. And I think what I hear you saying is that if we can export more power out of West Virginia, particularly if it's natural gas fired, that's a cycle that can continue and find more abundance.
Yeah, that's right. I was listening to, our friend Tom Huber, who works with the landowners group in West Virginia, on a program last week with Secretary Warner, talking about a situation where someone in the north central part of the state, a landowner that his organization represents, had lost their job in an industry that downsized. And they said specifically, things will be okay so long as, we continue we can bridge the gap because we have royalty payments that come in. So it is life changing, and it is creating generational wealth, and it's being reinvested by those royalty owners into the communities. So, I mean, it is something that we need to continue to focus on. $1 billion were the reports that we received from some of our members in total for 2025 in royalty payments. That's not exhaustive, so that's a piece of that pie. So, yeah, we absolutely want to use more gas, West Virginia gas, for electric generation and other end use, and we have to be able to move that and rely on transmission to get it to market.
I feel like missing in this dialogue is the understanding that if we want to be an energy state, and we talk about coal or we talk about gas and we want to export both, missing from that dialogue is this holistic understanding that it does take a lot of infrastructure. There's multiple industries that come together in order to yield that kind of prosperity that you're talking about. And I'm not saying we have to be in on everything, but I feel like there is a misconception about what it takes to actually add value to that raw product that you're bringing out of the ground and getting to market where someone is willing to pay us for it. And those benefits come back to West Virginia. So here's my question. How do we better educate and help people understand that opportunity and how they will benefit? And how do we also balance this sweet spot between our historic landscapes and also getting the transmission that we need to get things to market?
Look, I mean, first, and maybe this is where I should have started, cost allocation, that deserves scrutiny, but opposing infrastructure outright isn't going to be the answer. The answer is fair cost allocation. It's responsible siting, as you've pointed out, and ensuring that there are benefits in West Virginia, and we believe that there are. As far as the education, that falls back to us in industry. And in the oil and natural gas industry, we are really working hard to reach out to the public, to be more engaged and communicative about what we're doing in West Virginia. I'm fairly certain that we sent it your way back in February, but we produce our annual gas facts that really tries to underscore the benefits of the natural gas industry in West Virginia, the 73,000 jobs. And we believe that can be more and should be more and will be more. So I think some of that responsibility falls on us, and we're trying to meet that demand and make sure that West Virginians understand our industry and understand how it plays into the broader economic success of the state.
Final question. Dave Wilson, who's on a well-deserved vacation, mentioned either last week or early this week, he and I were talking, and he made the comparison, and I think it's very, very telling. He talked about when fracking first came into our realm, our vocabulary and what that is, and all of the concerns that went with that now I think have in most concerns, not all, but in most concerns, have been mitigated. Is that what we're seeing here? We're seeing this all over again. It's people getting educated, becoming acceptive of the technology, and then we're able to move forward. I mean, do you buy into that comparison?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair comparison. I mean, what I've thought about with this issue, we hear a lot about what the impacts will be or could be, and some of that's, questionable to ratepayers if these investments are made in West Virginia, if these transmission projects and other investments are made in West Virginia. What we don't hear a lot about, at least I haven't, is what is the consequence to not making these investments and not making these upgrades. What is the longer term impact? Certainly there could be a cost to consumers, a cost to ratepayers down the road that could be even greater. I mean, the congestion issues aren't going to be diminished. The infrastructure is going to continue to age and not be able to keep pace with demand, and that's a broader PJM issue. But certainly if West Virginia wants to be an energy state and a leader in energy development, then we have to lead in the ability to move the product to market as well.
Rebecca McPhail, president of Go West Virginia. Hey, thanks for taking time out of your schedule. I know it was busy. You're out of town. You're attending meetings, but thankful for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, TJ.
Kristen Burt with the news on Toy Story 5. We'll get that coming up next when Metro News continues.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
As West Virginia takes their shot at glory in Omaha and captures the nation's attention, West Virginia businesses are building for the future. When it's time for a new medical facility, hospital expansion, historic renovation, auto dealership, apartment complex, sports complex, or church addition, trust the team that's been helping build West Virginia for more than 25 years. Jarrett Construction delivers design build, construction management, and general contracting services throughout the state of West Virginia. Visit jarrett-construction.com today. WV030133.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is at $302 million. Mega Millions stands at $452 million. So go ahead, play today. Kristen Burt with the Hollywood Dirt, friend of the program here at Metro News. Kristen, Toy Story 5. We're going to try for a 5th time. Will it work? Is it a good movie? What are you hearing?
Yes, it is a good movie. It is going to work. And in fact, they are already targeting that debut here in the North America alone will earn somewhere between 145 to 150 million. They're expecting a weekend global tally of somewhere around 275 million.
That's a record for that franchise, right?
It would absolutely be a record. It would be a huge number. And you have to remember, too, that the last movie, Toy Story 4, earned over $1 billion at the global box office. I think that this is going to be very easy. It's been 7 years since we've had Toy Story in the movie theaters. This is a very hot summer box office. And I think that this is really a turnaround from what we've seen in these post-pandemic years at the movie theaters.
One of the great things about this franchise, I've got a 7, a 9, and 11-year-old. They are fans. One of the great things for the parents or whomever is accompanying these young children is that the plot tends to be applicable to adults as well. There's entertainment across the spectrum of viewer. In terms of what you're hearing about the plot and what you can say, will that hold true in this 5th edition as well?
Absolutely. And without giving you guys any spoilers, I will say that the kids are going to enjoy, obviously, the adventure. They're going to be able to relate to the fact that, you know, a lot of kids are tossing aside their traditional toys in favor of touchscreens, in favor of their tablets, their iPads. But, of course, there's always a joke or two, like a little zinger in there that Pixar likes to put in. That's for the adults. You know, it goes right over the kids' heads, and we all laugh about it. And I think that's what makes some of these Pixar movies, particularly Toy Story, so intragenerational.
So we're seeing displacement, I'm guessing, from what you're saying. The iPad taking over Woody's turf. Does the iPad have a soul? Can you tell us that? Does it interact with the characters?
There is, yes. That's kind of like the fun aspect to it all. You know, we have some new characters coming into play, and yes, the tablet is a part of that, and that is Greta Lee, who is voicing that role. So I think that this is going to be really interesting, and I think it's going to be very relatable to families, because I think a lot of people are going back to a place of like, let's put down the devices, let's go back to board games, let's go outside and play a game. I think a lot of families are starting to gravitate toward that, and I feel like Toy Story 5 is so timely and it's coming at the right moment.
I think with a lot of that, too, it's a return to the theater. Look, I could wait for this thing to come out. It'll probably come out pretty early. But that would be more akin to supporting, I guess, the iPad than supporting the characters. I want to go to the theater with my kids. I want to get a box of popcorn and pour goobers into it and all of those things that go with it. I mean, it seems like people are craving that as well.
People are craving community. And I say this as we have the World Cup here in Los Angeles right now. People are even just going out to bars and hanging out together and watching games that even if Team USA isn't playing. And I think that the movie theater also brings that sense of community, of just experiencing something together. There's nothing more magical when everyone's laughing at the same time or crying at the same time or yelling at the screen out of frustration. That really is something communal that I think we all are craving in this moment.
Are you into the World Cup?
I don't follow soccer generally, but I will tell you that World Cup fever has definitely reached here in Los Angeles. I went to a couple of parties last week, and it has been so much fun just watching the games, cheering people on, rooting for the underdogs. I love it.
Yeah, it's just a chance to root for America. And today with politics, I know that's not your thing. We won't go too deep into it, but there's so many divisive issues out there. Everybody can root for Team USA in soccer. I think that's one of the reasons people love it so much.
Absolutely. And, sports brings us together. Arts brings us together. The movies will bring us together. And I think it's so great anytime we can put aside politics and all of the great divide amongst us. And I think that is really something that I do think people are looking back at this thinking, how can we come together in a way? And it's always arts and sports in my book.
Kristen Burt with the Hollywood Dirt. Enjoy the movie, and thanks for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going this weekend, actually. And she talked about the kids laughing. There is nothing I won't give to hear my 3 kids cackling, laughing, pure joy out of them at the same time. So it's worth it for me alone. And the fact that the plot has a little adult narrative in it is always fun too. 304-TALK 304 is the text line. We'll take the break, try to squeeze a few texts after this.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Talkline on Metro News 304 Talk 304. is the text line. Let's go there. Last case, no Becky Pepper Jackson case today. I'm confirming the same here. I've been looking at SCOTUS blog, as has Brad McElhinny. I've been talking to a couple of people with greater access to the Supreme Court than I would have that are in Washington. And next week. That's what they're saying now. I mean, technically, I think the court could even run into early July if they wanted to. I don't think there's anything stopping them from doing that. But if history holds, then they usually get everything from the term by the end of June. And there's also another case that tracks closely to this. I don't have it in front of me right now. I apologize. I think it also tracks along with equal protection, but I think it may challenge other avenues here. So I would think, being the layperson that I am, an attorney can chime in here and correct me, I would think maybe those get bundled together to some degree or released at least together in order to have some kind of comprehensive messaging and ruling back to the states where this was involved and give people some degree of certainty around it. Texter says, medium well, TJ, you're such a loser. The succulent and tender world of medium rare awaits you. Take the leap. Look, if you think I'm bad, just talk to my mother, who I love and adore. I have to keep her steak on another 20 minutes, turn the temp way up after I get everyone else's. I mean, she eats a hockey puck. Literally eats a hockey puck. Hoppy Kercheval at 11:06. Check out his commentary now, WVMetroNews.com. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Continue to be weather aware through the course of the day as we're watching for risks of flash flooding and severe storms yet. Know your safe place to be if severe weather develops. And remember, turn around, don't drown, never drive through any flash flooded roadways. Timing multiple rounds of rain and storms. The one later today, there's a marginal to slight risk of severe weather for isolated scattered damaging winds, large hail. The overnight and morning round did include some tornado-warned storms. Some of us may still be included in a tornado watch through the first half of the day. Parkersburg had some flash flood warnings earlier this morning, too, for 1 to 3.5 inches of rain that has already fallen, and we'll have some high to very high totals locally yet. What the radar may look like at 7 a.m. Again, the morning round does include the potential of a tornado. Safest place to be is a sturdy building, lowest floor, centermost room, if a tornado warning does occur. And then the afternoon round, still some heavy and excessive rain, damaging winds and large hail. Very active day here with high humidity and a front on the board. Flash area forecast, it starts at home. Areas of Florida, we have more heat advisories, above average heat and humidity going on there. Tampa near 96 today. To the north, some isolated severe storms and a risk of flash flooding. Highs in the low 80s. To the east, still potentially a strong to severe storm as well. Damaging winds, large hail, some heavy rain possible. From east to west, heavy to very heavy rain. Risk of a severe storm today. And to the south, some areas had some tornado-warned storms either last night or early this morning. And there will be risks of flash flooding. High of around the upper 70s to mid 80s. So warm as well for the day today. Charleston and Morgantown for your next 7 days. Chance of showers ends early tomorrow for Juneteenth. High near 81 on Friday. Saturday is a dry day. High near 83. Father's Day is likely dry. High of around 87.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Hour number 2 of Metro News Talkline. We continue. Ethan Collins on the board today in Morgantown. Zach Karolchek runs the video stream at WVMetroNews.com. Also check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We're everywhere, anywhere and everywhere that you would want to be this morning. 800-765-8255 is the phone number. 304-TALK-304. Have some time put aside this hour for texts. It is amazing to me how many people want to be critical of my steak choice, but hey, to each their own. We'll talk about it. Plus Mike McKenna at 11:33 of the Washington Times. Going to get into the Iran deal. Break it down, talk about the 14 points in this MOU, understand them, get an insider's perspective on what this means for the country, also politically on both sides of the aisle. Hoppy Kercheval, former host of this show, writes at WVMetroNews.com that all country roads led to Omaha. He joins us this morning. Hoppy, how are you, sir?
I'm well. Thank you, TJ. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I have to ask you quickly. It's becoming a debate. How do you like your steak? How do you like it cooked?
I go medium.
Okay.
Medium. You know, it's pretty boring, but medium.
I'm there. Medium well.
Yeah. Some red in the middle, red to pink in the middle.
Yeah. The rare folks say I'm really missing life, and I hate life because I do it the other way.
I know, but I don't want it rare. I don't want it well done. Just medium is good.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into your commentary here. You start by saying West Virginia University fans were big winners in Omaha. Elaborate, sir.
Well, first of all, they showed up, like Tony Caridi always says. And some had a very difficult time getting there because of travel challenges, the weather, airport issues, etc. Some just said the heck with it and gathered up people in the airport and said, let's rent a van and drive out there. West Virginia vans showed up. I don't know how many exactly were there, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And while there, they made a difference. If you watched or listened to the broadcast, you heard them. Even when West Virginia was down 11-1 or 12-1 in the game yesterday. You could hear the "Let's Go Mountaineer" chant. They dominated parts of downtown Omaha. They were there. They showed up. They made a difference, and it was a very special moment for Mountaineer Nation, whether those fans who were there or just those watching and listening. It was a very, very special time.
How much of a chance was this for we as Mountaineer fans, we as West Virginians, to show the rest of the country who we are?
A huge chance, and we did show, because media outlets noticed it from the very beginning. And I noted this in the commentary. West Virginia, the fan support for the baseball team got a feature in the New York Times. You know, the Athletic is the sports section of the New York Times. They did a piece. ESPN Online did a piece. ESPN Television just covered it endlessly with a lot of cutaway shots of Mountaineer fans. Local TV in Omaha covered it. And so it wasn't just something that was organically created by Mountaineer fans, and the rest of the country saw what we already know, and that is the tremendous passion that WVU fans have for the Mountaineers.
You talk about the hats, and you talk about what makes us uniquely West Virginians in the piece, and you talk about that. Look, some fans across the country may not like us, but I think you've hit on something there. And sometimes, not all, but sometimes some of us, I think, are a little hesitant to embrace that and maybe not pretend, but maybe not be fully forthcoming about who we are. Own it. Because I think a lot of people really like it. Yeah, maybe a turnoff, but I think a lot of people like who we are and they like our story.
Yeah, I would agree, TJ. And look, the cutaway shots, they're looking for images that are interesting. And so you get a lot of the coonskin caps. You get a guy with a coonskin cap drinking a beer. And some may look at that in other parts of the country and go, oh, look at those guys. Look at those hillbillies. And to me, it's, wait a minute. This is who we are. This is our identity. There's nothing wrong with that. We are, as I said in the commentary, we are the folk who live on the country roads. and so embrace it. And don't be ashamed of it. Don't apologize for it. Don't try to change it. This is our identity. There's a lot of positives about it. And embrace it and enjoy it. And look, capping it all off, all those images of Mountaineer fans joining in with the team and the coaches and the staff of singing Country Roads, that became a national story. It's who we are. Own it, embrace it, and there's nothing wrong with it.
You've been around the program, the larger program, WVU Athletics, for many years. You've seen the good, you've seen the bad. Our friend Dan Lohman, who was with you in Omaha, he wrote on X this morning, I thought he really nailed it. He was talking about the fact that in the postgame, Gavin Kelly stopped to thank the room, thank the behind-the-scenes staff, the players, etc. And this was a quote that he said, "Defeat confirms character, elite culture." I think he knocked it out of the park there. Talk about that culture that you've seen having been in Omaha. Compare it to other cultures that we've had in Mountaineer athletics and what it means moving forward.
I mean, if you're talking about this team, Coach Steve Sabins and his staff have done a remarkable job in creating a culture that is positive for this team having success and reflective of how we see ourselves as Mountaineers. He says openly, look, we're going to be outside practicing in January. We're going to shovel snow off the field. We're going to be, whenever we're behind or facing a challenge, it's advantage West Virginia. Don't come here if you don't want to be challenged. And so he attracts athletes. And a lot of these guys that had great success are D2 athletes who wanted to be at the next level. And Coach Saban says specifically, if you feel entitled, we don't want you. We want people who are hungry, who are willing to grind and work hard. And that's what he's done. And he's created this tremendous cohesion among these players, a tremendous bond among these players. And West Virginia fans can identify with that, right? I mean, that's how we see ourselves, isn't it? As those who face adversity on a fairly consistent level. Look at today, storms all across West Virginia, neighbors helping neighbors. That is, he has imbibed that culture into the team, and it is reflective of how we see ourselves.
Do you think that's a roadmap for other sports in the program? If you're Ren Baker, are you trying to bottle that up, what they have on the baseball team, and spread it to the basketball team, the football team? Maybe it's already there, but it just seems like such a roadmap for success relative of the challenges that we have in this state, relative of what's happening in college athletics these days. It would seem like it would play well.
Yeah, I think it does, and I think we've kind of always seen ourselves that way. But the demonstration of that was then displayed on a national stage by the WVU baseball team getting to Omaha, getting to the World Series, and getting to the Final Four. So I think it's always been there too with these other sports, but now it's just on a larger stage. Think about this for the WVU baseball team. There are 300, maybe 304 Division I college baseball teams. West Virginia ended up in the final 1% of those teams. The final 1% by getting to, in essence, the semifinals of the World Series. That's remarkable. Something like 9,000 games were played among Division I college baseball teams, and West Virginia ended up playing in the final 5 or 6.
No, it's a wonderful accomplishment.
It's just remarkable.
Yeah, it is remarkable.
And frankly, it puts pressure. It puts pressure on other sports. I mean, if you're a football fan, you go, okay, Steve Saban did it with guys he got from D2 and not a lot of revenue sharing money. Okay, Rich, what are you going to do? So it puts pressure on them.
And to your point, with not nearly the resources, not picking on Rich, but not nearly the resources that the football team has. To your point, they figured out a way to make it happen. Does Carolina go all the way? What do you think?
Well, look, I don't know. I mean, Carolina's awfully good. I will say this, that it's better for West Virginia if Carolina does, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because then you have lost to the team that wins it all, and I think that would help West Virginia in the final rankings. You're going to be somewhere in the 3 to 6 range anyway, but if Carolina would beat Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's a great story too. I mean, they were not a highly regarded team going into the SEC tournament. So if North Carolina can beat Oklahoma 2 out of 3, then that bodes well for West Virginia, and it probably moves you up a click or two in the final national rankings.
Host emeritus of Talkline, Hoppy Kercheval, joins us. You can read his commentary online now at WVMetroNews.com. Hop, I want to transition. You also host State of Minds, which is a video series we release with Metro News Television. I believe you have the latest cut out today. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but you've really been taking a deep dive on data centers. What are you learning? What surprised you about this issue, and what caught you maybe off guard? What kind of took you by surprise with it?
Well, it's a 3-part series, and the third part's coming out this evening with Dado Slezak, who is associated with QTS, which is planning to build a data center along the Jefferson-Berkeley County line. And we interviewed Chris Morris, who's you've had on your program, who's head of the data center office, Amy Margolis, who is leading the Tucker County group that's objecting to the proposed data center there. And I think anybody who watches these shows will learn a lot, too. What I learned was a couple things. Not all data centers are created equal, right? I mean, you have companies like Google and QTS who I think are doing it right and are well-financed. They want to be part of the community, and they don't want to be someplace where they're not wanted. And then there's others who maybe see this, who cobble together some money and see it as an investment opportunity because data centers are hot right now, and let's just get somewhere and try to get one established, and then we'll sell it off. Not as concerned about community concerns. So there is a range of the developers of data centers, number one. Number two is that, and again, you've covered this very closely, that this law really goes too far in precluding almost any local control, probably all local control. You know, like trumping noise ordinances. I mean, really? It seems to me that these local communities should have some input, whether it's a zoning board or planning commission or county commission, should have some control in the development of these data centers, or at the because without it, there's no obligation, TJ. There's no obligation for any company to do anything except try to get the state permits. Now, the companies that want to do it right are engaging the community, but there's no obligation to do that. And I think that's unfair to local communities. And I think that's reflected by a very thoughtful interview with Amy Margolis, who their group, they're not just like, say no to all data centers. They're just saying, hey, we have a lot of questions. Can you answer our questions? And they feel frustrated that they've not been able to get all of those questions answered. What's your take on all this?
I thought, well, first off, we'll start with Amy. You brought her up. I've been in the energy game a long time. And just frankly, you've got people that are there to fight and just fight and yell against the wind. And it's no, we don't care anywhere. That's not her.
Right. No,
that's not her.
Not at all.
And it made her stand out, how genuine that she was and looking to find some kind of compromise that works. Now, she's passionate about her position. I appreciate that. But she was realistic and frankly, she was civil about how she wanted to communicate her position. I appreciate that. And I think that goes a long way. Let's focus on Tucker County for a second in my response. You talked about Google. Google is building for Google. I mean, they're doing it right.
Yes, right.
These flippers, quote unquote, that want to get the permit and then they want to be able to go to market and sell it to somebody. Here's where I think they're going to fail. Because the people that ultimately want to build these things, even the people that want to be the off-takers of this and rent the space, they have the same concern because they ultimately are Google. They don't want to be where they're not wanted. And I think that's the flaw in this whole, hey, I'm going to get a permit, I'm going to go out to market, I'm going to flip it. So frankly, just my 2 cents, Tucker County, I wouldn't handicap that at a very high odds of actually closing and getting done, because I don't know who's going to want to buy it if it has baggage to it. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. And by the way, and you've interviewed Chris Morris as well from the data office at the Commerce Department. He's very aware of this. He's very aware of this. I think he's taking a hands-on approach of trying to engage the community, and he has a lot of questions too. He's trying to get answered. And here's the other thing, TJ, is that, as you said, like a Google or a QTS, I think they want to do it right, and they don't want entities, investors who aren't doing it right because it reflects poorly on them. So I would not put the odds very high of that project going through in Tucker County. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Chris Morris is really looking at that closely, going, I don't know. And you're right about Amy Margolis. I mean, she is asking legitimate questions. She's not an beginner. She's not in Not My Backyard. But when you talk about a giant project with energy production, all kinds of energy production, backup power, there are legitimate questions that should be answered, so the community, at least the community, knows. And the company, Fundamental, is trying to do that. I mean, they're doing a little bit better job now, but they have not done a good job of informing the community and answering those questions.
Yeah, I'll leave you with this. I think the data and the history of the data supports the conclusion about Tucker, because you look at a Google, you look at a Microsoft, the ones that really want to hyperscale. These were some of the first companies in corporate America that wanted to engage on the climate issue, wanted power from sources that specifically mitigated, in their view, the climate issue. So they have a history here. I think of whether you believe that's wanting to do the right thing or not. They believe that's the right thing for their shareholders, and they have a history of defending those positions. So, yeah, I mean, it's a wait and see, right? I don't have a crystal ball, neither do you, but I think the data supports the conclusion.
The final thought is that, look, Republicans, I thought conservatives were for local control. And you look at this bill, and it blocks any local control. That doesn't seem very conservative Republican to me.
Well, I don't know what it is to be a conservative anymore. I used to think I was one. I used to think I was in the club, and I don't know that I am anymore. I guess that's a whole other can of worms, right?
Right.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you. I hope you have a good Sunday.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Text line, we'll hit that coming up when Talkline continues.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
As West Virginia takes their shot at glory in Omaha and captures the nation's attention, West Virginia businesses are building for the future. When it's time for a new medical facility, hospital expansion, historic renovation, auto dealership, apartment complex, sports complex, or church addition, trust the team that's been helping build West Virginia for more than 25 years. Jarrett Construction delivers design build, construction management, and general contracting services throughout the state of West Virginia. Visit jarrett-construction.com today. WV030133.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
800-765-8255, 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. Texter says, West Virginia leads the nation in drug overdoses. I thought we were getting better there. I thought the data actually said that we were improving. I don't have it in front of me. I'll have to look that up. If somebody has it quick, you can text it in. Please stop referring to her as she. Pepper has a certain body part. Okay. All right. I can be graceful of what somebody wants to be called and still know the truth. I don't think we have to make as big a deal out of it, but that's me. Medium well, TJ. Oh, we already got to that one. My fault. This texter says, I think in regard to the natural gas industry, fracking, etc., it's because they keep poking holes in the Earth's atmosphere, making such wind vortexes, causing global weather disturbances, etc., etc. Not sure the science backs that up, but you do you. This texter says, you threw Mom under the bus. I didn't throw her under the bus. My mom celebrates the fact and is proud to tell anyone that she wants her steak, her hamburger, any kind of meat to look like a hockey puck. She likes it that way. I don't. But no, I didn't throw her under the bus. I mean, I don't know if she's listening today. If she is, she's probably telling her friends, hey, did you hear what he said about my hamburger on the radio? That's more important to her than talking politics, frankly. She would be more apt to bring that up to somebody than what I talk about typically. Let's see here. I would let them put a fracking well in my bedroom at the farm, so I guess I'm pro-gas. I also drive around and wonder if most roofs had solar panels, and we continue with all the energy storage developments, would not gas and coal just be our backup generators? Look, those technologies are disruptive. They're disruptive. And the market decides. The market is the ultimate arbiter of energy prices and what people are willing to do. I think natural gas has a good runway. I think it's got a lengthy runway. But there will come a time. There will come a time that we're all going to have a fuel cell perhaps in our backyard. I mean, that's just inevitable. And everybody knows it. So industries have runways. They're aware of that. And the ones that are successful diversify. Take profits from one product line and put it into the next. And that's business. And we'll probably see that here as well. Mike McKenna from the Washington Times coming up on Iran in just a moment. You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's go to the news update, desk for an update.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Continue to be weather aware through the course of the day as we're watching for risks of flash flooding and severe storms yet. Know your safe place to be if severe weather develops. And remember, turn around, don't drown, never drive through any flash flooded roadways. Timing multiple rounds of rain and storms. The one later today, there's a marginal to slight risk of severe weather for isolated scattered damaging winds, large hail. The overnight and morning round did include some tornado-warned storms. Some of us may still be included in a tornado watch through the first half of the day. Parkersburg had some flash flood warnings earlier this morning, too, for 1 to 3.5 inches of rain that has already fallen, and we'll have some high to very high totals locally yet. What the radar may look like at 7 a.m. Again, the morning round does include the potential of a tornado. Safest place to be is a sturdy building, lowest floor, centermost room, if a tornado warning does occur. And then the afternoon round, still some heavy and excessive rain, damaging winds and large hail. Very active day here with high humidity and a front on the board. Flash area forecast, it starts at home. Areas of Florida, we have more heat advisories, above average heat and humidity going on there. Tampa near 96 today. To the north, some isolated severe storms and a risk of flash flooding. Highs in the low 80s. To the east, still potentially a strong to severe storm as well. Damaging winds, large hail, some heavy rain possible. From east to west, heavy to very heavy rain. Risk of a severe storm today. And to the south, some areas had some tornado-warned storms either last night or early this morning. And there will be risks of flash flooding. High of around the upper 70s to mid 80s. So warm as well for the day today. Charleston and Morgantown for your next 7 days. Chance of showers ends early tomorrow for Juneteenth. High near 81 on Friday. Saturday is a dry day. High near 83. Father's Day is likely dry. High of around 87.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. and that's very important to us.
Talkline on Metro News. Vice President Vance at the podium at the White House now, taking questions from reporters on the Iran deal. He said, I don't know if Iran will change. I think the burden's on them. Obviously, given the history, they haven't changed yet over the course of, 47 years, I think, if I did my math right very quickly. So the burden's on them. Is the deal good? 14 points in this MOU to help answer that question. Man about Washington, Republican insider, a great American, and also a columnist for the Washington Times. Mike McKenna joins us. Mike, how are you, sir?
Pretty good. How about you?
I can't complain. We've had a great week here. A little weather in West Virginia this morning. Some power outages, my friend. Some severe weather moving through. But so far, it just looks like down trees and outages. Nobody hurt. No flooding. And flooding kills us here. So we're thankful for that.
Those damn utilities, man. I got to step it up.
You know a thing or two about those, don't you? Let's start here. I'm looking at these 14 points in this MOU. I like brevity as a businessman myself. I'm not going to get onto the White House for that. But when you look at what is in this MOU, is it a good deal for America?
Yes. I mean, compared to the status quo, it's it had to happen, right? And it was sort of inevitable it was going to happen this way. I think we can't have 20% of the world's oil shut in indefinitely, right? That's not a sustainable answer. So unless you're prepared to really go to war with Iran, this is a good answer.
So it seemed to me, maybe I'm off, I think others, that we were prepared. I thought that's what the president wanted to do, was indefinitely ensure that Iran cannot get a nuclear missile. I've heard some criticism of this deal in that, look, the strait was open before we did it. We bombed and then we could have got out and been done. And maybe that's the way this looks moving forward, Mike. Maybe every 5-6 years they build this stuff back up. We have to go in and blow it all to bits again. I don't know, but it's getting a lot of parallels to the Obama deal, and people are saying that it's not substantially different. Would you agree with that take?
Yeah, I think that's right. The only difference is it's one of tone, I think, not substance. I'm not really sure. We got $300 billion in an investment fund, right? We're going to try to use to invest in Iran under the hopes that it's going to turn them into a normal country. That's something, that the Team Obama just kind of threw money at him. I think this crew is going to be a little bit more disciplined. But yeah, the short answer is there's a phrase, at least in D.C., that gets used all the time: mowing the lawn. Right? We're mowing the lawn now. We're going to have to do this every 5, 6, 7 years. We're going to mow the lawn. I don't think the Iranians are going to have the capacity to do much for the next couple of years. Then they'll kind of grow back, and there'll be a problem again in 4 or 5 years. So it's not a good treadmill to be on, right?
No. A big part of this hinges on Lebanon, which really, look, we're not in direct control of Israel. So is this also an off-ramp to decouple the Israel-Lebanon issue and allow the United States to move forward solely on Iran?
Yeah, and that's, if they had to pick one good thing, one unalloyed good thing that came out of this, it's that the Americans America seems to have finally shuffled off the Israeli coil in the Middle East, right? The Israelis kind of talked us into this thing with respect to both scope and timing, and at the end of it, right, we kind of I don't say the Israelis are isolated, but the Israelis are more isolated than usual. And like I said, if you had to pick a good thing, it's that the Americans can maybe start looking at the Middle East like they look at every place else, right? Who's our friends, who's our enemies, what are we going to do about that? Instead of this overhang of having Israel kind of always trying to orchestrate how we're going to deal with the people in the Middle East.
To what degree politically, specifically J.D. Vance, since he looks like the front man here. To what degree politically do you think he's on the hook, or the administration, if this MOU falls apart at the end of 60 days?
The thing falling apart at the end of the 60 days now would be bad, right? Because, it just looks like, it would look like nobody knows what they're doing, right? The kind of Keystone Cops thing. But I think what's likely to happen is they're going to sign something, and the American people aren't going to care about it, to be honest with you. They're going to care about what they're paying for gasoline. They're going to care about, whether inflation's high. They're going to care about a bunch of, whether we're actually in a shooting war in some place we don't want to be in a shooting war. I think the people who read this stuff, are kind of the elites. I think 80% of the population is going to look at it and go, okay, I don't really care. Just let's get back to normal and let me keep making my payments, right?
When we come up against it, if that's China, whoever it is, and I mean, we're really up against it with a foe that can do as much damage as we could do to them potentially. I think back to the greatest generation and their ability to sacrifice. And I think the reality, at least from military leaders, I mean, I heard an admiral all the way back, U.S. Navy admiral of a carrier group, I think it was back in 2002, 2003, talk about American consumerism. And the fact that Americans may not be willing to truly sacrifice. How much of that are we seeing in the American public and today in regard to the price of oil and the pain at the pump? And it's real. I don't want to discount it. But to what degree does that limit the options in terms of what we can do militarily and how far we can go?
Well, probably not as much as people think. Here's the thing, and this is something that's uncomfortable, but it's the truth. The United States hasn't declared war on anybody in 85 years now. And the thing about the importance, the reason why Congress is given the power to declare war is because the founders understood that unless the nation goes to war, if it's just the military going to war, you're not going to win. It's not accidental that the last war we declared, World War II, is the last war we won. So, if the people, if you explain to them, okay, here's why I'm asking you to suffer, or here's why I'm asking you to sacrifice, or if it becomes obvious to them, right? Hey, man, the Japanese just bombed the hell out of us at Pearl Harbor. If it becomes obvious to them, I think the Americans are the Americans who live now are every bit as sturdy as the Americans who lived then. But I think, what's going on is the military and some guys here in D.C. have decided it's just a lot better to not involve the people in the question. And like I said, that fact that the last war we won is the last one we declared, rolls around in my head on stuff like this. One person essentially decided the timing and scope of this thing. One person decided when we're going to get out. You can't blame the other 330 million of us for saying, I'm not sure those were done at an optimal moment and or an optimal way.
Washington Times contributing editor, man about Washington, Republican operative, a great American, Mike McKenna, joins us on MetroNews Talkline. I want to talk about your piece that's posted now at the Washington Times website. A blue wave in this year's midterms. You ask the question, you say probably not. Make the case.
Yeah, between redistricting, so redistricting kind of tilted the field a little bit towards the Republicans, not as much as everybody thinks. When I say a little bit, I mean 2 or 3 seats, right? But the two other things that sort of militate again, the two other things indicate that we're not going to have a blue wave is, in every survey they ask a question, for which party are you likely to vote, for member of Congress from, right? And that's called the generic congressional ballot. Like I said, it's 5 days a week. They ask this in some survey somewhere. Real Clear Politics collects it, posts it up, and does a running average. Okay, that running average has been like 5 points, 6 points, 5 points, 7 points, 5 points, 7 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, right? For about 7 months now, right? A blue wave, and when in fact in the past we've had blue waves, those numbers have had both a steady increase over time, and they've been in double digits by game day, right? Like 10, 12 points. It doesn't matter the side, Republicans, Democrats, whoever's about to wave out the other guy, right? Those congressional, generic congressional ballot goes like plus 12 for the side that's going to win. There's nothing like that in the noise there, in the signal there, right? It's a steady state. They all come back to 5 percentage points, and I think that's thought one. I think that's because candidate quality among the Democrats is so bad. They're kind of owned by the worst elements of their own party, right? The leftists who care much more about climate change than the economy, much more about transgenderism than they do about law and order, that kind of thing. So you think about the guy in Maine, Graham Plattner. He's a perfect example. The guy's got a Nazi tattoo on his chest. I'm like, dude, I don't know a lot about politics, but there's not a lot of appetite. There's not a lot of demand for people with Nazi tattoos on them to vote for office, to run for office here in the States. So that's one. And then
I look at that candidate, I shake my head, but go on.
Right, a normal party doesn't give them to him, doesn't cough up something like that. And then the other thing is, voting registration. The voting registration numbers over the last 6 years have been, about net 5 million for the Republicans, right? About 2.5 million fewer Democrats, about 2.5 million more Republicans. So net 5 million. That's really important in an off year, right? Who's registered? Because if you're registered, you're likely to show. If you're not registered, you're not likely to show. But this kind of slow motion dissolution of the Democratic Party in a bunch of different places suggests that it's not going to happen. They're not going to take 45 seats. We're not going to go plus 45. The other thing is 16 guys are sitting upside down, right, in seats where the president won, and they're of an opposite party. 13 of them are Democrats, right? So Democrats have already won most of the seats that are easy to access for them, right? Mm-hmm. They're not likely to have to have a blue wave. They would need to win 30 districts that were won by the president in 2024. There's just nothing out there that suggests that's going to happen. There's just not. Could they go plus 5 and take the House? Sure. Could they go plus 10? Maybe. That's probably their top end, though. Could the Republicans hang on? I think there's probably 1 in 3 chance the Republicans hang on to the majority in the House, yeah.
You can read his piece at WashingtonTimes.com. I thought of you. I stepped on the third rail of energy policy last week and a little bit early this week. I wrote favorably about RTOs and interstate transmission. I'm very popular.
That'll get you in trouble every time. You don't care about this, but this morning FERC just put out a big rule that said, "Hey, man, to send instructions out to all the RTOs, explain to us how your stuff is how your rates are just and reasonable, and explain to us how you protect consumers and all this other stuff." Pretty expansive, pretty expansive. So I'm looking
that's a good move on their part. Look, we can talk about cost allocation, and how these rates are applied. PJM, as you well know, they do I think it's 50% on load ratio, and then the other 50% on actually the distribution factors, et cetera, et cetera. But my whole takeaway is this: you're either in a grid or you're not. You can't be halfway pregnant. You either want to be Texas or you don't. And I think it's a big question here in West Virginia. So sometime soon we'll have you back. We'll talk about energy policy, and I don't know if we agree or not on this one, but you can tell me how I'm right or how I'm wrong. How about that?
I'm never sure whether I agree with everybody, or I'm not even sure half the time whether I agree with myself on energy policy. So,
Mike McKenna, Man About Washington, a great American. I appreciate you, sir. Have a great Father's Day weekend.
Thanks, man. You too.
Text line when we come back. Stay tuned.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. And that's very important to us.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Summer is boat weather. Get ready with great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out our inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. Texter says McKenna is wrong. Bad deal for the United States. Remains to be seen. And look, I do think there's an argument to make on both sides of this. Trump actually took some action. Actually made these facilities unusable. That deserves some level of credit. Is the deal fundamentally different from what Obama did? Probably not. Probably not. And I go back to the fact you cannot trust an unworthy counterparty, period. How much of this $300 billion is going to be earned? What are the terms around that? I don't know. That's another big question. Now, they say it's not taxpayer money. Does Iran care? A dollar's a dollar. They don't care where it came from. They just want the money. What do they have to do to get it? That deserves more scrutiny. Steak, well done. Caramelized on the outside. Yummy. Good to know. I was one of those that never got out of Pittsburgh because of the storms. I had my tickets and lodging in Omaha. I'm sorry to hear that. It was very tough. I have to tell you, my experience with Chicago as well. If I can get to Midway and avoid O'Hare, I'll do anything I have to do to fly through Midway. It's that much of a difference. So that's my 2 cents on travel. Never go through O'Hare. Always go through Midway, if at all possible. In regard to your mother's steak, boil it, fry it in a pan of water. Do that before putting it on the grill. It'll be cooked and tender, not a hockey puck. Hey, I'm retired military and have been all over the world. Most everyone, I think Siri got in there. Most everyone that I've met identify the hillbilly as the toughest, most enduring of Americans. We should cherish this title, not hide from it. I agree. We are who we are. And it is enduring. It's like the American cowboy. It's tough. It's tough to do. And I think there is a perseverance there that we should be proud of and definitely not ashamed of. And I think most of us are proud of it. TJ, why doesn't WVU have a softball team? So embarrassing being in the Big 12, can't field a softball team. Every small to large university can field a team. Why can't WVU? We'll get into that another time. There are reasons. You're destroying good meat by burning it. Be a bit more adventurous, says the texter. Quoting me, maybe we have to go in again and blow it all up again. Please give us your reasoning. Well, we don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. You can't trust them. They're not trustworthy. The psyche, the culture there celebrates a level of conflict, not all, but for the most part, that would love to see the American culture, the West, destroyed, period. It would be celebrated by the radical culture, again, not all, but many, that is part of Iran. That's why. And so if we have to blow it up again, we'll blow it up again. Americans are not willing to sacrifice. After September 11th, George W. Bush told us to go about our normal lives and spend. I thought McKenna's point about the founders and how their genius in setting up that America's representatives would have to vote to go forward. That's a good way to understand if America's all in or not. And that's an argument and a concept that I think is very real. Are we all in? Maybe we could be as great as the WW2 generation, but maybe we're not ready to go all in. Should we be ready to go all in? It's a different question. Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot, $302 million. Mega Millions at $452 million. So go ahead, play today. More texts. We'll wrap it up after the break.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dancava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door. Now is the perfect time to connect. 304 Talk 304. Programming note for tomorrow. During the first hour, 10 up until about through the 45 segment, Nick Preservati is going to join us. Now, I affectionately refer to him as the state's energy czar. He's the governor's right-hand man when it comes to energy. We are going to do a deep dive on West Virginia as an energy state. We're going to talk about 50 by 50. We're going to talk about electric rates. We're going to talk about coal-fired generation, natural gas-fired generation. Yes, data centers. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about transmission and how all of this comes together. And Nick has agreed to take your texts. So starting tomorrow around 10 o'clock, 304 Talk 304, if you have questions on those topics for Mr. Preservati, you can text and we will have a dialogue about those questions. He will answer those questions. Nick says there are misconceptions out there that he wants to address. So we'll get into that. Yes, there will be tough questions from me that he'll have to answer and also from you. So that's coming up tomorrow, first hour of Talkline, 10:06 up until about 10:45. And then we'll have Steyerwalt, we'll have Steam Release, and we'll have fun. My appreciation to the crew. This has been Talkline on Metro News. For over 40 years, Metro News has been the voice of West Virginia.